Hi. Here's an article in CNN. And when you read it and you get to the end of the page or the end of the article, there are article recommendations. Such recommendations can be found today in almost every article online. Those recommendations are found interesting by people billions of times every month. 10 years ago, they did not exist. Let me tell you the story of those recommendations. You might be asking yourself, what's in this photo? So I took this photo in 1999 in Turkey. And here in this photo, there is my co-founder, Yaron Galai. We know each other for 26 years. We met in the Navy Academy. And since then, we love sailing. We're having sailing vacations together for many years. And we also love reading content. While sailing, there is a lot of dead time to read content. And here you can see Yaron in the perfect magazine reading spot. In the first few years, it was indeed magazines. Magazines are amazingly edited. The editor is curating for you the next article to read. There are maybe 10 or 15 articles in a magazine. Advertising is not disruptive, but rather a content by itself. We trusted magazines. But then the internet came, and content started to be published online. However, while sailing, there is no internet access on board. In our sailing vacation in 2004, Yaron showed up with this. I asked him, Yaron, what's that? And he said, these are the articles that popped up for me online. I printed them so I can read them. And are you going to read it all? Oh, no, I'm just going to read the interesting ones. And how do you know which are the interesting ones? I asked him. We looked at each other, we had an epiphany moment, and we realized something went wrong with content online, and we need to fix it. In our sailing vacation in 2006, we decided to start a company to address actually that, and we started Outbrain. To articulate the problem better, let me take you to something we all love. Ice cream. In the fridge, there are maybe 20 or 30 different flavors, and the guy behind the fridge is asking me to pick 1 or 2 flavors. Which one do I choose? I'm the customer here. Why me? What if I usually face the guy and I say, all the flavors are tasty, right? So how about you choose? Now he's stuck. He cannot predict my preferences. What if I would go into the ice cream shop and he will say, hey, I know you. Today, let me offer you cream and strawberries. Now that's fun. Every day, new flavor, that's cool. Let's get back to magazines. When you read a magazine and you get to the end of the article, what do you do then? You flip the page. And when you flip the page, there is another interesting article. You know it. You know it because you trust the editor to pick for you the next interesting article to read. By buying the magazine, you're paying for this editor's service. However, online, when you were reading an article and you got to the end of the article, there was nothing. You got there and you were stuck. We needed assistance at that point. We needed a personal editor to pick for us the next interesting article to read. We wanted to build this personal editor for all of us, the readers. There was another problem that disturbed us with content online, and it is advertising. When we were reading a magazine, advertising looked very much like this. Can you tell which one is the ad and which one is the content? It's hard to say. Online, totally different story. Here is a review from a site called Car and Driver of the Tesla Model S electric car. The reviewers gave it 5-star rating, and let's see what they have written. As both the eco-friendly luxury car and the absurdly fast sports sedan, we simply loved the Model S. The top spec all-wheel drive hits 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds. This is amazingly fast. It offers a classy cabin and an electrifying driving experience. We gave it 10 Best Award for 2016. This is a great review. Now, let me ask you a question. When thinking now of an electric car, which 3 models come to your mind? Was Tesla one of them? Probably for some of you. And here is another question. When thinking of a vacation destination for the coming summer, which destination comes to your mind? Was anyone thinking of the Balkans? Probably not. And that's a pity because Turkish airline paid a lot of money to put this ad on top of everything else in this page and to put it in front of you. And you hardly noticed it. You didn't notice it because you were mostly interested in the content and totally ignored the ad. You've became banner blind. Now, people love content, and more than that, they love stories. Brands realize that if they want to get your attention and trust, they have to tell you interesting stories. More and more brands are shifting their focus to tell you stories of their interest. It is called content marketing. Here are a few examples. Red Bull, don't know if you remember, but they produced this jump from the outer space for its extreme sport audience. My 6-year-old son is the perfect audience for this content or this story. It's from Lego, and believe me, I pay for the consequences. There are probably parents for toddlers here in the audience, and you might be really interested in this content. It's from Pampers. The question is, how do you take such content and deliver it to your audience at scale? This is where Outbrain come into play. Remember the personal editor, the one that knows your reading preferences? Now we can deliver and help you discover stories that brands want to tell you, not the disruptive ads that you will ignore. Today, 10 years into our journey, in most of the biggest publications online, you can find your personal editor that helps you find the next article to read. This is what content discovery is all about. Brands are becoming storytellers. Now they have a way to help you discover their stories. Stories that are interesting and you can trust. This is our fingerprint, and you've probably used us in places like CNN, Time Inc., Ynet, which you know, and of course my favorite sailing magazine, Yachting World. Thank you.